PIX11 political reporter Henry Rosoff is here this morning to explain what went down, Henry, and what is to come. Good morning to you. We all saw those numbers coming yesterday, right? It put Eric Adams and Catherine Garcia in a very close race, but it turns out ballots were added. Test ballots. Can you break it all down for us?
So let's start by taking you all the way back. I know it was a long time ago to last week, and look at those preliminary results we've been showing you for some time now because they help illustrate the point. So what they did is show Eric Adams up by about 9 percentage points over Maya Wiley and 12 percentage points over Catherine Garcia. These are just the first in-person votes only. They don't include second, third, fourth, and fifth choices. So what we were supposed to see yesterday is sort of a simulation or calculation that looks a little something like this. The Board of Elections was going to take all those in-person votes and running ranked choice voting simulation. We'll explain how that works. So we're pretending there are 50 votes in all of New York City. You eliminate the lowest remaining candidate, you redistribute their votes, and you go on and on and on. And just to illustrate the point here, you're redistributing the votes, and, eventually you end up with a winner, someone who gets more than 50% of the vote. What the Board of Elections did is produce a result that looks like this. Here's that full screen that we created using their numbers. These numbers are wrong. Let me repeat, these numbers are wrong because what the Board of Elections did is they were practicing, much like how we're messing around with the colors here on our touchscreen. They were practicing and left 135,000 practice ballots in the system, added 800,000 real votes into the system, ran a ranked choice voting calculation, put it out into the world, and immediately candidates, political reporters, voters who were just interested said, this doesn't add up. Why are there all of a sudden about 140,000, in this case to be precise, 135,000 extra votes? So the Board of Elections literally pulled down the results with very little explanation. Then late last night around 10:30 said, oops, we left the 135,000 ballots we were practicing in the system. They're promising to rerun the numbers today, but confidence in this process, which was already under a lot of scrutiny because this is our first ranked choice voting election, has really been eroded among the candidates and the voters.
You need to have confidence in the system and the process, and people were on shaky ground already heading into it with ranked choice voting because it was the first time that we've ever seen this play out. And a lot of people now asking, why were they even testing it with real names, not using dummy names along the way? But let's get some of the reaction this morning now, because there is going to be that recount that comes out today as they do this correctly, hopefully. We had Catherine Garcia on, Henry, this morning. Let me play what she had to say about this.
I wish I was more surprised that the Board of Elections was struggling to get this right. But to be quite honest, after what we've seen over the last year or so, I'm not. This is an organization that really needs a full revamp. It needs to be professionalized.
And we also talked about holding the Board of Elections accountable. Henry, you've been reporting on this for quite some time. This is not new with the Board of Elections. There's always some kind of snafu along every election. This is a major one, right? So moving forward, let's take a look at a recount. How does that actually play out if someone challenges the final results?
Well, in New York, it's known as a recanvass, and it can be, bear in mind all of this, we're in uncharted territory. So let me add that pretty big caveat to all of this because ranked choice voting is brand new here. But a recanvass in New York, in looking at the state law, it appears the only thing that can automatically trigger that is when the counted number of votes is different from the number of votes that were actually done, either in person or by absentee ballot. And if that sounds familiar, that's because that's exactly what the Board of Elections did yesterday. Now, it was preliminary, not official and certified, so who knows if this rises to the level of a recanvass. But this really does open the door for litigation and for this already long, drawn-out process to draw on even further. Remember, we're still waiting on 124,000 absentee ballots. Those haven't even been factored into what we're talking about yet, Dan.
Right. So, Henry, we did hear from Catherine Garcia, who was obviously on air earlier today. But what are other candidates saying about this snafu?
In short, they're calling for transparency. Yeah. Maya Wiley, who when she was counsel for Mayor de Blasio, actually led the charge for ranked choice voting, really bashing the Board of Elections, saying we need more transparency. Eric Adams trying to remain confident. He is still, ahead in this race, but he came out swinging yesterday, flagging this error immediately, really pushing for some answers. Yeah. We really haven't seen Wiley or Adams out doing statements just yet.
Well, look, this is not good for the Board of Elections. And the mayor actually is coming out today saying there needs to be a complete structural rebuild of the elections board. He has said that for quite some time. The question I keep asking and I've asked throughout the years, how does that happen when they're appointed by the state? To be continued. Henry, thank you for coming in early to discuss all of this, and I'm sure we'll be watching you at 5 o'clock today as those results come in again.
Hopefully they'll be right this time.
Yeah, exactly.